Ladies, gentlemen of the internet, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dante, aka Dante DeFi, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the markets and where we see, it moving, and talking about the trends that we've managed to capitalize on in the last couple of weeks, but mainly just discussing how the markets have been going, because it has been a few weeks since we posted a video. Now, obviously, we talked about a lot of our main holdings, one of them being BitTensor Tau, another one being Caspa. Of course, we've talked about Quant. We've talked about basically that's it on this channel since the turn of the markets. But I did want to discuss a few other projects, one of them being Aerodrome. I can't stress this enough, guys. If you do not follow me on Twitter, that is where you're going to get real-time updates on what I'm doing on a shorter-term time frame. That meaning, on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis, you're probably going to get the most information on Twitter versus on YouTube. YouTube is going to be high-level stuff, longer-term talking and discussing what the trends are within the market. But if you were on Twitter, you were able to watch us have this massive kind of successful run with Aero. We called it like 23 cents, 20 cents, and it did a 10x at the very top. It went all the way to $2, and now is retracing, actually, which is great to see, because at least in my opinion, when I find projects that I want to be able to hold on to through a complete cycle, or hold on to, I don't want them to, moon so quickly to the point where it becomes unsustainable, and then attention, comes in, a lot of short-term attention. So it's great to see that, I know it sounds crazy. It's great to see that we're seeing a healthy pullback in Aero. I really am fundamentally someone who buys into this project. Coinbase has an undisclosed amount of investment into this project. It is the central trading and liquidity base for the base layer 2 ecosystem that Coinbase obviously is running. I'm very bullish on Coinbase long term, and so of course their ecosystem I am going to invest in just as a leveraged play on Coinbase itself. If you go and look at the Coinbase stock, it's also ripping up, as we can see right here. But again, Aero, I am someone who is a fan of this project, and like I said, we were following this price action very closely the last couple of weeks, and it, again, like I said, did a 10x. It's amazing to see. Our initial entry was at 20 cents. I also wanted to just discuss Tau and Caspa, because during the time that I was mainly focused on Aero and the price action of Aero, and kind of getting as much information as I could around the project so that I could make some long-term decisions on what I want to do, allocating some capital to it, et cetera, et cetera. Looking at Tau and Caspa, they've been pretty boring, right? Like, they haven't really done much, but this is a great sign in my opinion. Again, mainly on Twitter, we were talking about Tau sub $100. It hit an all-time high of almost 800, which is pretty insane to think that, Tau went from under $100 to 800 already, and the bull market technically hasn't started, according to some people, which at this point I can neither confirm nor deny. I can only go based off of the data, and the data tells me that if this is not a bull market, I don't know what it is. So yeah, it's very interesting. But if we go and look at the Caspa chart as well, the last video I actually posted was a video regarding Caspa, and just talking about Caspa is a long-term play in my opinion, and I think it's a play that it's already at a $3 billion market cap or so. It's no longer a small market cap. It's no longer a micro cap. It is a very established crypto. It has over 250,000, 250,000 holders. That is a massive project, and so it is not a small one. But in terms of fundamentally, I really like this project. I think that it is a very pure and very technologically sound project. It's something that a lot of people are going to catch up to in terms of understanding how prominent this actually could be. But we're not there yet. And again, we have over 250,000 holders for Caspa. That's an incredible achievement for something that was fair launched and is basically community driven. But we're not there, and the growth is going to be a little bit slower than some projects that are not community run and not fair launched. And so you have to manage expectations, right? But I am still very much a fan of Caspa. Again, and the real kind of message here, I guess, would be to to really make sure you're not going all in on anything. Like if you were all in on Caspa or you're all in on Tau, which again, there are people, at least from crypto Twitter, that I can sense have over allocated to one project. Crypto moves in cycles. It's not going to be a situation where, Caspa just keeps going up forever and it never gives you an opportunity to get in. There's always going to be opportunities to catch the dips. Arrow is a perfect example of this, because Arrow at a certain point was literally consolidating in a range and moving quite aggressively upward. It was a vertical accumulation upwards. I would describe it. Right before we broke the ceiling and hit $2, we were slowly accumulating and grinding higher before, boom, out of nowhere, we went from under, I literally went to sleep one day, we were under $1, and we had officially hit a 10x on my entry a day later when it hit $2. It hit exactly $2. And then, of course, we're going to see a retrace. And so main message here is there's never going to be a situation in which you're not going to be able to get an opportunity to enter in. I'm happy to be talking about Arrow here as it's retracing rather than when it was at $2, because again, $2 is not the time to be buying this. And in my opinion, do your due diligence, go do your research on Arrow. I don't think this is the end. I think this is going to continue to grind higher over time. And from where I stand, our entry is so good that, we're allowed to see this play out, and I'm going to let this play out. And the same goes for Tau and Caspa. It's really about when we got into these projects. If you had a good entry into them, I think there's no reason to panic here. As the market grinds down or grinds up, with or without them, I think fundamentally the narratives are going to carry on throughout the cycle if we continue to grind higher. And, Tau, Caspa, Arrow, certain few projects will continue to do well. But that being said, if we look at where we're at overall in terms of how we've been performing, the crypto markets are almost at all-time highs in terms of total market cap, right? Like if we say that the $3 trillion was the absolute peak for crypto, we are pretty close to that. We're $500 billion away from hitting $3 trillion in total value for the entire market. In terms of how quickly that's happened, that's pretty insane considering we were under $1 trillion. At the bottom of the market, we were under $1 trillion when SBF, the whole FTX shambles was going in full force. We were under $1 trillion. So to be at 2.5 trillion and then pushing on, almost 3, that's pretty insane in terms of the amount of time that it took. So we have to really pay attention to this and understand that we've grown a huge amount in a very short period of time. And of course, being reflexive, the way, the crypto market works, we can expect some pullbacks. We can expect some maybe negative price action. So maybe coming back down to the $2 trillion mark before continuing higher. But again, we're in a good spot right now, guys. I think we're pretty early to the cycle where if you were buying, obviously if you were buying right here, you're in a really good spot. And as you know, again, if you're following me on Twitter, we started buying back in March of last year, and it's already a year on from then. And March of last year was right around here. So this is where we started buying as the market was kind of starting to correct back upwards. And so I guess in a high level sense, or in on the longer term scale here, we're in good shape, especially if your entries were lower if you got in any time in 2023, you're doing pretty well. And I think we're going to continue to see a lot of good price action for fundamentally strong projects. I think retail investors, though, are still not here. I think there's still a ways to go until we actually see new entrants into the market. I think a lot of what is going on is just the same people who have been in crypto are back. The ones who were maybe asleep during the bear market, the ones who weren't as active in the markets. Everybody is now back, and it's good to have everyone back because the markets are far more entertaining now than they were in 2023. For most of it, it was pretty boring in 2023, to be honest. Not much was going on. But now it's more exciting, more things going on, and I'm happy. I'm happy when the markets are like this because the interest is back, the positivity is back, at least from crypto natives, and there's a lot of narratives to follow. Personally, I'm following the the base chain narrative pretty closely. Aero plays a huge part in that, but in terms of the adoption of new users and when new users finally decide to come back into the space, I think a lot of them will get onboarded through base. So that is where I am spending a lot of my energy, and then continuing to try and accumulate things like Caspa and Tau. And then of course, if I do get into anything else that I'm super interested in, I will obviously let you know through Twitter. That'll probably be the quickest way to get involved. But yeah, guys, all that being said, we've been talking for 10 minutes. I just wanted to get on here and give a quick update to everybody who, is on the YouTube side of things, who doesn't check the Twitter. Make sure you get on Twitter and check me out, or follow me and, chat. But all that being said, I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.